Hello everybody, welcome to Jim Flicks. I'm Jim, your host, and today my review for the 2010 samurai epic by Takashi Miike, 13 Assassins. This film I hadn't heard of until yesterday. Literally yesterday morning I audition popped into my head. Audition being one of Takashi Miike's, well, it is his masterpiece. It is absolutely incredible. I'm sure all of you out there have heard of Audition. If you haven't, watch it. That is a serious film. But started scrolling online, looking into him a little bit further. I've seen maybe another 4 or 5 of his films. Ichi the Killer, Visitor Q, Dead or Alive. What else was there? Love Story. Always good. Always fun, sometimes shocking, sometimes disgusting, but a great filmmaker. And I stumbled across 13 Assassins. So it got my interest. I was about to order it, but for whatever reason I didn't, which was fate in this case, as I'll explain. I popped out to buy coffee. I'm a caffeine addict. Popped into the local charity shop, and there it was on the shelf on DVD, an artificial eye release. So within 10 minutes I was watching the film, and it did not disappoint. So much fun. Really great film. A throwback to the classic era of samurai films. I'm thinking obviously of the man Akira Kurosawa. So briefly, in a nutshell, what is the film about? It is about basically a tyrant who is the brother of the shogun, set in Japan 1844 I believe, and the tyrant, whose name escapes me, Lord Naritsuga, who is basically just brutal. There are some scenes at the beginning which are shocking, which introduce you to the character, and from there a group of elite assassins, 13 assassins to be precise, assemble in order to take him out. I don't want to say much more than that. I want to keep this review spoiler free so you can go out and enjoy the film. That really doesn't spoil it for you. That is just the bare bones. It's not too long, 2 hours I think, all in all, and the pacing I thought was great. There's nothing in the film that doesn't need to be in the film. The pacing it's kind of snappy, but it's also slow. It just builds perfectly. The characters are all fantastic. There's a lot of humour, which is an amazing contrast. Just kind of releases a little bit of that pressure, that tension. So the cinematography, the look of the film and the design, it looks really earthy, really beautiful, sort of browns, greens, deep dark, sort of muted blues with like a contrasting orange glow with candles in the background, and it just looks absolutely fantastic. A lot of the camera shots are either static or there'll be very slow sort of pans, both in, out, side to side, that gives it kind of a nice steady slow pace, and also kind of gives it a bit of seriousness, I want to say, or a bit of like majesty, if you follow me, which is contrasted brilliantly against the second half of the film, where it's a lot of the fighting and the battle scenes where the camera is more handheld, so it really emphasizes the chaos of the situation they're in and of the battle and the fighting, but it's not overdone. It's not a lot of quick and hard cuts just like confusing. It'll be one shot, for example, but it will have a lot of movement, and the acting is all fantastic. The characters are great. You get really invested in the crew that go to look for the Lord. And going back to my point about it being a bit of a throwback to Akira Kurosawa's films, there is one character in the film, I'm not going to explain too much and give it away and spoil it, but he's very reminiscent of Toshihiro Mifune, who is just the legendary actor from loads of Akira Kurosawa's films. He's a very deliberate throwback to him, very similar characteristics and mannerisms, and I thought that was great. Sort of an Easter egg almost in the film, and a great homage to one of the best actors we've ever had, in my opinion, Toshihiro Mifune, who is just incredible. And by the way, if you haven't seen many or any of Akira Kurosawa's films, please go and watch them. Highly recommended. I'll be reviewing some of them on the channel and introducing you to some of his works, but seek him out, watch any of his films. They're all fantastic. Do yourself a favour, get on it. One thing I loved about this film is it's very serious in a lot of ways, a lot of angry, honourable, shouting Japanese men, but at the same time it's contrasted beautifully with some really great humour. The characters themselves literally laugh at themselves and laugh at some of the new recruits that they're taking on in their sort of band of assassins. I think it was done really well. It's almost like a release valve for the tension, because the characters are so serious. I mean, they're looking to die for honour and to take out the Lord for the good of their countrymen. So it's very serious, but these little hits of humour are literally just like a release valve. So they just give you a chance to sort of breathe and relax, and really humanises the characters a lot more than if they're just these, you know, these sort of insanely strong-willed samurai. It just gives them a human touch. And so yeah, really humanised the characters and really endeared you to them, and really got you on board with their cause. Before I go, the one thing I do want to mention, again without spoiling anything, is the last 45 minutes of this film is absolutely epic. Insane battle that lasts pretty much 45 minutes, where you've got the 13 assassins taking on about 200 opponents. They basically trap them in a village, and then there's a 45-minute battle which is just absolutely amazing to watch. Like I mentioned earlier about the cinematography, the camera work then all becomes handheld. The sound design is amazing. There are some explosions, and obviously the battle scenes are really heightened. I watched it with, I've basically got a home theatre sort of system, and the sound is great on that. I've got a beefy sub, and some of the bomb blasts that went off and some of the sort of the high-pitched sort of clashes of the swords, it just sounded amazing. Completely immersed in it. And yeah, do I recommend this film? Absolutely yes. I'm gonna stop rambling on. 13 Assassins by Takashi Miike. Do yourself a favour and watch this film. I'm gonna give it a solid 7.8 out of 10. It is definitely worth your time. And so do me a favour, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.